Hi, this is Abel Stewart, and welcome to our ukulele lesson series with the guitar class. So, this is a ukulele. Now, this looks a little different from your average ukulele. This is what's called a fluke. It's a company that makes those, but I assure you, it plays just like a regular ukulele. So, this instrument, let's talk about some vocabulary, how to tune it up, and I'll show you a few basic chords to get you started. So this is lesson 1 covering the basic stuff. So vocabulary, it's a lot like a human body. You have your head, you have your neck, and you have your body, right? So your two main contact points on the instrument are here, what's called the nut, here by the head, and then what's called the bridge on the other end. So if I say, okay, we're going to slide our hands toward the nut or toward the bridge, you see what I'm talking about there. All right? So the way the ukulele works, like any stringed instrument, is you have your two main contact points. The string between those vibrates at a certain frequency. This gives you a note. When you use these frets, what are called frets, they're little spaces at various intervals up the neck. And the frets, what that does is you shorten the length of the vibrating surface of the string, and that's what gives you higher pitched notes, just like that. So with the frets, what you want to do is you want to get your finger as close as you can this way to the fret without actually crossing it over. And let me show you what I mean. So if I'm here, if I'm too far back, you hear how that starts to get kind of buzzy sounding? Okay, there's a good tone right there, right behind the fret. If I cross over the fret, you actually get a different note and it starts getting fuzzy again. So again, as close as you can this way to the fret without crossing over it, that's where you want to put your fingers down. And that works on all the strings, just like so. All right? So, frets, close as you can this way to the fret without crossing over. So, let's talk about how to tune it. I'll give you some tuning notes. Let me detune it a little bit. This one actually has a built-in tuner. Now, if you're going to use your own tuner, a lot of electronics tuners are really good for that. Also, cell phones, you can find apps for cell phones, Android, tablets, etc. that will have tuners built in. Any of those are fine. As a general thing, when you use an electronic tuner, it's going to have some sort of indicator in the middle. That's what you want to shoot for. If it's too flat, which means the string's not tight enough, it will end up being sort of to your left. If it's too sharp, which means the string's too tight, it will be to your right. What you want to do is, if you're below the pitch, drop it, you're going to tune up into pitch. If you're over the pitch, like if you're too sharp, bring it down below and then back into the pitch, and that will hold better. Otherwise what will happen is the string will slip, and then you'll just have to tune it again in a few minutes. So here, alright, that's an F, so I want to get this up to a G. There's a G right there. Okay, I overshot it just a little bit. Well, that's pretty close. Alright, so let me give you the rest of the tuning notes. This is a G. This is a C. I'm a little flat there, so I'm going to tune that up. Right there. And this is an E. That's pretty close. Tighten it just a tad there. And this is an A. That's pretty close to it. So again, G, C, E, A. That's your standard ukulele tuning for a soprano concert ukulele. Now you have also, or a tenor ukulele as well, I believe. Your baritone ukulele is going to have a different tuning. So that would actually tune like the top 4 strings on a guitar. So see the guitar tuning for if you have a baritone uke. Otherwise, for soprano, concert, or tenor ukes, I believe those all tune to that same tuning of G, C. Still not happy with that. There. C, E, A. Alright, so that's a tuning. Let me show you a few chords to get you started. And these 3 chords are going to be we're going to have several songs that will use these. And also, if you need even more songs, you can go to some of the guitar tutorials, and the same chords will apply. little different fingerings on the guitar, but if I call out a G chord is a G chord, right? So, speaking of the G chord, that's where we usually start. So what you're going to do is on the 2nd fret, which means that 2nd space there, you're going to put your middle finger right there. You're going to put your index finger, you're going to skip a string, one more string in towards you, and put that on the same fret. So here, here, and then your ring finger on the string in between those. Alright? So not the string farthest away from you, but one in. You're going to put the 3rd fret, you're going to put your ring finger. Should look like that. Alright? So, what I always tell my students, whenever you're ready, memorize where your fingers are, take your hand off, and find it again. And do that as many times as you need to do to feel comfortable having memorized the chord. So do that several times until you're really used to it. Alright, so again, this is the G chord. Here, here, here. Now if you're coming to the uke from the guitar, it's going to look just like a D chord on the guitar. So yeah, that's just how the uke transposes. But this would be a G chord on the ukulele. Alright? Alright, so the D chord on the uke is going to be, so not the string furthest from me, but the other 3 strings all on the 2nd fret. And so you're going to have to kind of stack them creatively. I go with the pinky, ring, and middle. Some people like to use the ring, middle, index. Either one's fine. I have bigger fingers, so every hand's a little different. So all on the 2nd fret, the 3 strings closest to me, pinky, ring, middle, right there. And there it is. There's my D. Just like so. Alright, so same thing. Whenever you're ready, take your hand off, find it again. Alright. Do that several times till you're real comfortable with it. If you need to pause the video, do that. What I want you to do now, before you go on, get really comfortable changing between those 2 chords, between the G and the D. Alright, so again, here's your D. Here, here, here. That's the G chord. Now the D chord. Just like so. So practice changing between them slowly. Take 4 counts. So 4 counts G, G, 2, 3, change to D, D, 2, 3, back to G, and so on. Practice that on your own for a while. Pause the video if you have to. The other chord that I want to teach you is a real easy one, and it's the C chord. So the C chord on the ukulele is 1 finger, and it's your string farthest away from you, the 1, 2, 3rd fret. That's it. It's a nice, easy chord. Alright, so again, that's the C chord on the uke. Now again, if you're a converted guitarist to this, you know it's gonna be the equivalent of the D, the A, and the G, like that. Alright, if you're a uke player and you never played guitar, don't worry about what I just said, ignore that. But yeah, if you're converting from the guitar, that'll help you out. Alright, so again, to review, G chord, D chord, sorry, and the C chord. Practice changing back and forth in various ways among those, and the more you can practice that and feel comfortable with it, you'll be in really good position to start doing some songs. Alright? So get really comfortable with all of that, with your terminology, frets, how to tune it up, and those 3 chords. When you're all pretty comfortable with that, start diving into some songs. Alright? So that's the next lessons. There you go.